Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pop Culture Spread, our fun weekly movie and streaming news show. Jace, we have a lot to talk about, so let's get into some big news. Well, everything is big news this week, Jace, because we are talking D23, which has been going on this weekend, and boy, has there been some big stories coming out. We've got new title for Avatar, Daredevil, Born Again, and so much more. So where do we start, Jace?
Well, there is a lot to start from. I mean, you got to remember this was only last week. We got that. Well, not last week, the week before. We got the massive news from Comic-Con about RDJ returning, and you're thinking we're still kind of simmering off that, but you forget that the D23 Ultimate Disney Fan Event only happens a couple of weeks after Comic-Con every year. And boy, oh boy, as your view alluded, they have dropped some gold nuggets. So much to get through, Rick. We're just going to, again, we go to joeblow.com because they're our trusted source. Let's go through some of the things I've been talking about. And, okay, there's a couple of tiny things we'll start it off with was we got to see a trailer of Snow White.
Yeah.
And Tron, is it Aries?
Aries.
Yeah, a little bit was revealed there. Now, let's just talk about Snow White, which has been under a lot of controversy, Rick, as we know. Rachel Zegler come out and said, this isn't your grandma, Snow White. Like, whatever. And then the whole magical creatures.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having dwarves, because it was Snow White and the seven dwarves.
Yep.
So at one point we had one dwarf and then all these other. In the new trailer, they're all back being dwarves again.
Yep.
So Disney's reacted to that. So that looks like that's back. Again, though, you know my feelings, Rick, and I'm sure the audience, if they've been watching long term, knows my feelings on the Disney live action remake. They're awful, and this looks just as awful. To be honest with you, I have zero interest in Snow White.
I'm not interested.
Snow White. They're not even calling it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's just Snow White. All right, moving on to Tron Ares, which is a movie I am slightly interested in, even though Jared Leto is in them. I am interested in it. And the only real big news to come out of it was this announcement of who's scoring the movie. As we know, what made, well, I think the best of Tron Legacy was the soundtrack done by Daft Punk. One of the great film soundtracks, in my opinion, is the soundtrack for Tron Legacy. 9 Inch Nails are doing the soundtrack for this new Tron movie.
Interesting choice.
Very interesting choice, you know, with the old Trent Reznor. So I'll be interested to see what they do there, and that'll be out in a year. So I'm
but that, you know, we haven't heard nothing about this at all, really, have we? It's just kind of like we knew Tron was coming out, and then there was a bit of hype about it, and then it just died. There was nothing.
Yeah, well, they've been filming it, and it's pretty end, so I assume we'll start to get some visuals of it very shortly. Now, moving on to big news out there for people who love Moana, a movie I've never seen. I'm sure you have, Rick, with nieces.
I have seen it. Yes,
you've had to watch Moana a few times.
I do enjoy it. Yeah, yep. It is a good little show. But I haven't seen the trailer of this one, so.
Sorry, mate. What did you say?
I've watched the first one. I haven't seen the trailer to this one yet. I don't mind it. It's a good kids movie. I like it.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people agree with you, Rick, and they dropped the official trailer of Moana too, so go check that out. I'm sure that's $1 billion film coming.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right. Monster Jam. This is a big one, though, about. It looks like cars with monster trucks.
So this is The Rock. Is this a TV series or a movie? Like,
well, we don't know. We don't know. We're getting little snippets here and there, but we're not. Well, let's see if we can actually bring up the picture. I'm trying to bring up the picture here, but it doesn't look like it will be. No, X is saying no, thank you. Okay, let's get into some of the others. Avatar 3.
Yes.
Avatar 2 had already been out. They've announced the title for Avatar 3, which is Fire and Ash.
Makes sense.
Which is something that James Cameron had been talking about, the fact that Avatar was set with with people with fire, with the Navi fire. Yeah, so I'm sure visually that's going to look very interesting. So that's pretty good. Because look, I'm an apologist for Way of the Water. I would say it could have cut about 25 minutes out of that film, but it's still a pretty good film.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going back to Pandora once again. Now the big ones are from Pixar and Disney Animation. Toy Story 5, mate.
Yes.
Number 5.
I like where they're heading with this one. Like, I thought, with Toy Story 4, do we really need it? It was dragging on. We should have ended it. But now with what they want to go in the direction they're going, I kind of like the idea, and I'm actually looking forward to it, actually. More so how kids don't play with toys anymore, but they're going on to electronics. So it's that battle between the two, which I'm kind of excited about, to be honest.
Mate, Toy Story 5 could have been one of them getting flushed down the toilet, and you'd still have to, pay attention because they have nailed it every single time in that franchise. Every one of their films are great films. So, yeah, of course, let's get excited for Toy Story 5. And right, that idea, the plot, the juxtaposition against about competing with electronics for kids' attention, it's a very valid,
100%.
Relatable thing. So, which I thought was kind of great. There's John Hamm called Hoppers, which didn't know much about, but looks visually interesting. Really, the big one, I think, for most people, if you're a fans of The Incredibles, The Incredibles 3, exactly 100%, has been announced.
Nice.
They're working on it. It could be years away, and I don't expect you'll see something from Incredibles 3 for a good 3 to 4 years.
I've just teased it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's good. As well as the big one being Frozen 3 was also teased.
Wow. Another Frozen movie. Another billion-dollar movie.
I couldn't care less because I don't have kids around me that age who care about Elsa, who want to build a snowman. But I know that's a $1 billion movie. That's massive. And it's globally. And I'm sure you've seen both of them multiple times, Rick. Again, having young twin niece girls, it's unavoidable for you, I think, at this point.
Correct.
Okay. Now, the other big news actually came from Lucasfilm about a series called Skeleton Crew. And I'd seen images of it, of these little kids, and it's got gore. And honestly, I'm thinking, this isn't for me. But have you watched...
I did watch the trailer.
Mate, blew me away.
Yeah.
It's Goonies in Star Wars.
Yeah, 100%.
I love it. And I love the visuals. I love what they're trying to do. It is from the director of the three most latest Spider-Man movies. So it's a great director. Got a very Spielberg-esque. Do you even love the fact of what a Star Wars suburb looks like, which I thought was great. So I was very, very pleasantly impressed with the trailer for Skeleton Crew. I thought it was magic. I thought it was really, really good.
That comes out December, isn't it?
It's not that far away. It definitely comes out on Disney Plus later this year, which is really, really great. The thing they dropped was they showed footage from Andor season 2, which oh my god, Andor season 1, one of the great seasons of television, period. Not because I'm a Star Wars fan, up there with your top level shows like that's ever been put to television, whether that's Game of Thrones, The Wire, Sopranos.
It's up there.
Season 1 was that quality. And 2 looks really, really great. Also, the fact that Ben Mendelsohn returns as Orson Krennic, who played the villain in 1. So we're getting to see him back, he's amazing, as we know. So him, and then as you can see with this image here, they did drop a little bit of footage. First theatrical Star Wars film in over 5 years will be The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Okay.
I'm beside myself with this. This film is going to be a global massive hit because everybody loves The Mandalorian and Grogu. And if you're going to bring Star Wars back to the big screen, Rick, these are the guys.
100%.
Absolutely. Now, Marvel, absolute. I mean, Jesus, they blew our minds apart at Comic-Con, right? And they're not mucking around here, are they? Such gold nuggets to share with the audience. And did they what? First thing is, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm really loving this. And okay. Come on, show me the picture. Here we go. Play. You can see there, Johnny Storm in his outfit.
Now,
and
I've got a few things. I don't know. Well, I know this is retro, and I know it's set, in the 60, 70. I want a bit of contents to this. This costume.
Okay. So different universe. It's a retro futuristic version of the 1960s. And in fact, if you get a really good look, and I do implore everybody to get on the internet, have a close. It actually reminds me of the 80s looking NASA ending. The same kind of font. It's got the same type of look. I love it. It's supposed to be cheesy and upbeat and all that kind of thing. I mean, look at Mr. Fantastic. If he's a dad from a 1950s sitcom.
Looks good.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I think so. I'm all kind of down for that. Another big, they got to show footage of Daredevil again, Rick.
Yes, they released a trailer.
Which we get. There's a great shot, and then we get all the different Daredevil suits. He's got all these elements lined up, so which is great. He's apparently got 3 or 4 different suits in this series. Everyone's really excited about this, including the cast and crew, and everybody's back, dude. Everybody's back.
Everyone,
including the Punisher, and they're going into season 2 shortly. But we're Daredevil Born Again. It's not that far away. Really, really exciting. We also, I mean, this doesn't stop. There's so much to talk about here. Agatha All Along official trailer dropped.
Yeah, okay.
Now, give me your thoughts, Rick, of what you thought of the trailer for Agatha All Along.
So, when I first heard about this, didn't give 2 shits about this, to be honest with you. I didn't care about this show. Then I watched the teaser trailer, which they first released, and I thought, wow, this looks good. And that trailer worked, and it got me more excited about it. I watched the trailer. It took me back to my first thoughts. I don't really care about it. It just was a terrible trailer. Catherine Hahn, don't get me wrong, I think she's great, but I don't think this TV show will do well, and I'm just not a fan.
I would disagree with you. I actually think it looks good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're really diversifying now the storytelling within the Marvel universe. And let's face it, this series doesn't exist under the current leadership of Disney. This was a show that was greenlit under the old guard of Disney.
Yeah.
And that's why it got made. But now that we've got it, it's going to be about witches, dude. And they're leaning right into the whole witch thing. And I think it's really designed to be for us. But, I'll have a look. It's on Disney Plus. It's free. It'll come out in March. I'll be checking it out. But I do love
Catherine. Really excited.
She
I'm
is
not
a genius.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Now we also got of action. They dropped some bits and pieces, including Freakier Friday, sequel to Freaky Friday, which sees the return of Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan coming back to do Freakier Friday.
Why?
Look.
Anyway.
Why is the question? But you can ask that of so many sequels, dude.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, you can say what you like about Lohan, and God Lord, we all have. That girl is talented. She can act. There is no question that she has got screen presence, excellent comic timing, and can actually do this. I am a big fan of Freaky Friday, the 2003 movie. I'm not alone. Apparently, there's Disney. Quentin Tarantino is one of his favorite modern Disney films. I'm glad he agrees with me.
Yeah.
I thought their Freaky Friday was amazing, and you know what? I'll check it out. I think Freaky Friday could be a lot of fun, especially if Lohan. I assume she's got a kid as well, so it could be some goofy fun. Okay, now I've seen a bit of controversy about this next one. On our thumbnail, Rick, is Lilo, the live action Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Right. A lot of people are bitching about how Lilo looks, or Lilo, whatever you want to call him. Tomato.
Yeah.
I thought he looks fantastic. I like the live action looking of Lilo and Stitch. And to be honest, as someone who can take it or leave it with some of these animated things, Lilo and Stitch is one of the great Disney animated films. And it's such a fun character that, if you're going to make more garbage live action, and I'm not a big fan of it, as I said at the beginning of the show, Stitch looks good. But a lot of people are bitching about it, Rick. A lot of people are saying, no, it doesn't look right. Man. I'm like, look, so you don't have a problem with an African-American red-headed, but you got a problem with Stitch. What is the world coming to? Anyway. All right, here we go. Back to Snow White, which I think disaster because that chick couldn't keep her mouth shut. So, Oh, here we go. Back to Jeff Bridges appearing.
Jeff Bridges,
returns, by the way, in Tron Ares, which is really exciting. And of course, yes, Jared Leto and Evan Peters was there. Okay, Mufasa, the Lion King. We are now going to see. Do we care about this?
No.
No, not at all. Even though it looks great, the animals look photorealistic. It just fell off that live action Lion King, so I'm not interested in that. So that was basically it. We missed a couple of things that some of the Marvel movies that they did show, and one I'm surprised the story wasn't here. We got to see some more of the Red Hulk.
We did. There's Captain footage America, that has been leaked. I don't know. Have you seen it?
Released, yes. It's kind of like part of a new trailer. Look, I'm thinking this film looks dope. Yeah. I think what they're doing with Captain America, A Brave New World is really excites me, honestly. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that early this year. And I wouldn't have thought I would have said that, but the fact that we get to see Red Hulk in action and it's Harrison Ford, all right.
He looks good. That transformation of him just looks amazing, and it just makes you wonder, how is Captain America going to go up against the Hulk? So,
well, you don't know, do you?
That's it.
You don't know.
Love it.
Also, they dropped Thunderbolts footage too, where we got to see the villain, Sentry. Is the main villain in that film, and that looks spectacular. An action scene happening over the wreckage of the the thing that died in the ocean and we never spoke about in the Eternals. The action piece centered around that, so I'm glad they're addressing that as well. Let's move on. We've got some other stuff here going on in the animation world.
Ironheart as well. They mentioned a bit of Ironheart.
Yes, Ryan Coogler came out and who's been in control of that. Excited about that. Thing has been in development way too long. And I'm really excited to see with Ironheart, even though I have very little knowledge of the character.
Mm.
But there you go. Now, the animation world, it's worth
Oh,
talking about. We've got some stuff. Now, of course, we've talked about Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5, Frozen 3, Zootopia 2, we didn't mention. That's back with a
wow.
sequel.
Okay. Well, I didn't mind them.
Yeah, and Inside Out TV is being developed, which is
Yeah.
pretty huge. And yeah, absolutely. Okay, now one of the biggest animation show, the greatest shows this year so far was X-Men 97.
Oh, hell
Mate,
yeah. Hell yeah.
watch the whole series or not,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was one of the best seasons of television, period. Incredible show. And they started showing footage from season 2 and talking about season 3. They're all in on X-Men 97, and I'll be thrilled to see that they'll be returning. Also, what else is returning is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which is kind of a call to earlier versions of Spider-Man, and that's really exciting because they're going to be tying in with the MCU, which would be really kind of cool. And finally, Marvel teased its upcoming Marvel Zombies animated series. And that's going to be great. The show apparently features Simu's Shang-Chi character, which is like, okay, forgot about that guy. Where's the sequel to Shang-Chi, everybody? But yeah, wow.
Interesting.
Mate,
And what if news as well?
time.
There was some what if news as well. What if? I think there's another season of what if.
Will be returning as well. Yeah, that'll be coming for a season 3, which will be really exciting. And also Ryan Coogler is doing a Black Panther series called Eyes of Wakanda. So that'll be interesting as well. Something I need to deal with very soon in that whole thing is to bring in a new Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because look, they did what they could with equal Wakanda forever, but we need a new Black Panther. We really do.
This is how they do it.
So, yeah, how they do it.
Wow, Jason.
So much to look at.
Wow.
Oh, mate, we could have spent another hour going through all that and showing you that. We just wanted to give the audience a tease.
Yeah.
Go check it out on YouTube. Marvel Studios themselves have been releasing some fantastic imagery on all their socials. Go also check out all that stuff there. But Disney, D23 this year, has done a great job. It's been a great convention. So
I'm sure we'll see more footage of everything coming out. So
I'm sure. But
100%.
Really cool.
All right, before we get into the train wreck of the week, guys, I just want to remind all the viewers out there that to hit and like that subscribe button for us and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Also, guys, you can hear us on audio podcasts on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and where all the good podcasts are found. All right, Jace, let's get into train wreck of the week.
All right, Rick, we got a good one here.
Who's on it?
All right, Warner Brothers are at it again. Brothers are at it again. One of the great animated creative geniuses out there is Jendi I'm never good. Tartakovsky. He is one of the great animating geniuses out there. Probably most known for things like Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory, Clone Wars. He's an amazing creator, and he made this fun animated film called Fixed. And Warner Brothers are back to it again, mate. Just like they did with Batgirl, just like they did with Coyote versus Acme. It's in the scrap bin. See you later.
Already. Wow.
I can't believe it. Why wouldn't you just throw it on Max? Why wouldn't you sell it to a studio or something, to someone else? And he's a great animator and he makes fun stuff. Hey, those Hotel Transylvania?
Yeah.
He's behind all them. You know, it's his
Right.
animation style and all that, and they're great.
I think
So look, I think Warner Brothers just have this thing is like, oh, if it doesn't, we'll just it's easier to angers me because it's a financial decision. It's about, well, we can just write it off as a tax thing, and denying the audience of creators is abhorrent to me, and there's no reason for this. Honestly, it's just really sad because you know, we need more different creative content. You know, and brothers are just doing an awful job at it, Rick. They are just not caring.
so.
Why isn't Batgirl out there? Seen it? Who cares at this point?
Mm.
You know.
It was made, and they've just scrapped it. It was completely made.
It's the same with that. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And Coyote versus Acme was the same thing.
Yeah.
It was done.
Yeah.
It's done. So who knows? Who knows,
I don't know.
dude? But there you go. That's the train wreck of the week, mate. Brothers at it again, not looking after their creators.
Nah.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow. All right, Jason. Well, that wraps up the show for this week. It has been a jam-packed show with so much more. Like we said before, if you want to see the full articles, everything is in Joe Blow, where we get our sources from. They are a reputable source. Thank you so much for everyone joining us on this week's show, and I'm sure we'll catch everyone all next week. Jace, we'll see you then.
Catch you later, guys. Thanks for watching. If you could do us a massive favor and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Also, come and check out us on all our social media accounts and keep up to date. And if you're looking for some clothing, you're needing some merch, we've got you covered at the Pop Culture Spread store.